The NC2A made a decision this week in terms of recruiting and extending the dead period from April 15th to May 31st. And I have all sorts of problems with that. In a lot of ways, I feel that the NC2A is looking after the NC2A and not after the welfare of the prospective student athletes that they are claiming to be caring about in this situation. It's really easy to say as the NC2A, well, we're not satisfied with, where things are in terms of safety and testing and whatnot, and we don't want to introduce people from outside of these, quote unquote bubbles to come on campus. I mean, basically what I'm hearing is we just don't want to deal with if somebody ends up coming on campus, gets sick, or gets somebody sick, and then lawsuits derive out of that. And I understand we're in a way too litigious society. And yes, hashtag stick to sports. I mean, shut up, Kevin. We don't want to hear your views, and I really don't want to share them. But, you pour a cup of hot coffee in your crotch, and you sue and get millions. You put, like, Gorilla Glue in your hair, and now you have a lawyer because you put Gorilla Glue in your hair. At what point do you think that's going to work? But I digress. I can certainly see the NC2A being concerned about any legal ramifications that could come out of that. But yet, we have played an entire season. But yet, we had 25,000 fans at a lot of games in other conferences down the stretch. But yet, we had fans in the stands at the semifinals and championship game. But yet, we have 7-on-7 tournaments going on already, and we're starting to see the camp circuit fire up here soon. So, to me, it just really feels like the NC2A is just kicking the can down the road. And their best offense is playing defense and saying, well, we're just not going to deal with this now. And we're going to be upwards of 14, 15, 16 months before kids can take visits. You have an entire class, save one or two guys in 2021, who are signed, sealed, and delivered, many of them already on campus, who never got to visit their campus if they didn't go and get to see them as sophomores or early into their junior cycle. Never got to see the place that they're going. You've got the class of 22 who we have a December signing day, which, is still 9+ months away. But they're barreling down on needing to, start cutting lists down or whatnot, and they're talking to guys still on Zoom and everything else. I mean, they were certainly unhappy on social, and our Joseph Hastings did a great story along with the help of Andy Anders, where they talked to a lot of the guys, and to say that they were disappointed would be an understatement. It's just, you had a running back target saying, I'm not committing if I can't visit. He deleted the tweet, but, I think it's a fair sentiment. It's like, it's another player. It sucks, man, for not being able to go see a college you want to see. There's a lot of guys were upset. I mean, there were a couple that were okay, who said that, okay, well, I understand it or whatever, but that certainly, I think, was in a minority in terms of what the situation is. I honestly think you could have opened it up after April 15th. Very, very, very isolated, distanced type of visits. Are you going to sit there and have the kid come in and hang out with the team? Absolutely not. I think that the visit needs to be, you get to see the facilities, you get to talk to a couple of the coaches, like in a boardroom, across the table. I understand, again, I understand some of the issues that are there, but It's not like we didn't have a season. We had a season. They played. I was there. I saw the games. They played a season. I just don't understand how you can sit there and do that to these kids that you're asking to make these types of decisions. And the worst part is, I don't really expect there to be any relief on the tail end of it in terms of, changing the calendar or anything like that. And I don't know that for a fact. I just have a very bad picture in mind when it comes to how this is going to be handled. And when you sit there and you look at the Division 1 council and or the D1 council, I don't know what their official name is, one or the other. And there are just a lot of people on that committee that just, I mean, are not heavily involved. I mean, are not involved in football altogether, or certainly are not a program that goes out and recruits on a wide stage. And I'm not saying, oh, woe is Ohio State, woe is Alabama, woe is Clemson. How are they ever going to survive this and bounce back from it? They will. If I'm a smaller school in Division 1, I'm probably upset about this because I'm not being able to really build any sort of relationships with some of these kids who could be late bloomers. If you don't build that type of relationship, you have to hope and pray that you can hang on until the bitter end with some of these guys. If that's not there, what does that mean? What does that mean? I just don't see people, and I'm trying very much not to single out any schools because I don't want to act like I'm speaking on behalf of anybody. That's not fair. But I think that it hurts. I mean, number one, it hurts the kids the most. I mean, far and away, 1, 2, and 3. But number 4, it hurts, I think, the smaller schools because it hurts their opportunity to get in with these guys. There's no evaluation periods going on at that point. We lose our spring evaluation period. I mean, what does this mean for team camps? Because, I mean, all right, you know what? You can still have the shoe camps and everything else out there, but and I understand camps don't normally start until June, so I get that, but I don't know. I just think it's a raw deal all around, and I know that there have been people trying to start petitions about it, and that's all well and good. I mean, we saw a little petition started by Justin Fields, and it seemed to pick up 1 or 2 people. But I don't think that anything's going to happen. I don't care if you're a 2-star or a 5-star starting this. It's just not going to get the type of stroke that something coming out from Justin Fields that's getting retweeted by Trevor Lawrence and other established names out there was able to get.